Listen up, because I'm only gonna say this once. The world is full of clowns. People who talk a big game but crumble when it's time to walk it. They post, they flex, they lie to themselves in the mirror every morning. But when the clock hits crunch time, they fold. Are you one of them? Or are you the type of man who moves in silence? The type of man who gets results while the losers are still making excuses? The type of man who dominates because he knows losers talk but winners act. This is a wake-up call. Pay attention or stay broke. Winners act, losers talk. The fundamental divide between those who achieve greatness and those who remain stuck in mediocrity comes down to a single brutal distinction: action versus words. The world is flooded with people who love the idea of success, who fantasize about wealth, power, and respect, but who never actually do what it takes to get there. They're content with the illusion of effort, the performance of ambition, rather than the relentless, unglamorous grind required to win. Tate. Think about the people you know. How many of them are constantly announcing their plans instead of executing them? How many post motivational quotes but crumble at the first sign of resistance? How many love to talk about their business ideas, their fitness goals, their grand visions, yet never take the first real step? These are the losers. They mistake speech for progress, intention for achievement. They believe that because they want something, because they declare it, the universe owes it to them. But reality doesn't care about your words. Reality only responds to force, to the unrelenting, undeniable pressure of action. Winners understand this.
Yeah.
They don't waste time convincing others of their potential. They prove it. They don't seek validation from the crowd. They silence it. While the masses are busy debating, complaining, and making empty promises, winners are moving. They're up before dawn. They're training when no one's watching. They're making the calls, closing the deals, enduring the pain, and stacking the wins without applause. Because real success isn't about performance, it's about results. History doesn't remember the people who talked about changing the world. It remembers those who did it real. The empires of the past weren't built by men who sat around discussing philosophy. They were built by conquerors who acted. The fortunes of today aren't made by people who theorize about money. They're made by those who risk, invest, and execute. The difference between a legend and a nobody isn't talent, luck, or even intelligence, it's action. So ask yourself, are you a winner or just another loudmouth? Are you spending your energy on output or outcome? Because the market doesn't pay for potential. The gym doesn't give you muscles for showing up in your mind. The bank doesn't deposit cash because you deserve it. The world only rewards what you do, not what you say. Excuses are the language of the weak. Weakness disguises itself in many forms, but none more pathetic than the excuse. It's the shield of the coward, the crutch of the incompetent, the anthem of the mediocre. Every time someone fails, or worse, chooses not to try, they wrap themselves in a blanket of justifications. I don't have time, I don't have money. The system is rigged, it's too hard. These aren't reasons, they're surrender speeches. Excuses are the ultimate admission of defeat before the battle even begins. They're what people use to negotiate with their own potential, to lower the bar so they can crawl under it instead of leaping over. But here's the truth, no one cares. The market doesn't adjust its standards because your life is hard. Your competition doesn't slow down because you're going through something. The universe doesn't pause for your pity party. Strong men and women don't traffic in excuses. They demolish obstacles. They don't cry about unfairness, they become undeniable. If they lack resources, they hustle. If they lack knowledge, they learn. If they lack connections, they network. They operate under one ironclad rule. There is always a way. Excuses are the ultimate self-sabotage. Every time you justify why you can't, you reinforce the belief that you won't. You program your mind to see limits instead of solutions. Meanwhile, high achievers are playing a different game. They don't ask why me. They ask how now. They don't blame circumstances. They reshape them. Look at anyone who's ever achieved anything remarkable. Did they have perfect conditions? Remarkable. No. Did they face setbacks? Absolutely. But they refused to legitimize their failures by dressing them up as excuses. They owned their losses, learned, and came back harder. So the question is, what's your language? Are you speaking in reasons or results? Are you collecting excuses like trophies, or are you bulldozing through them like the weak, meaningless noise they are? Because at the end of the day, excuses don't protect you from failure. They guarantee it. Silent grind beats loud boasts. The streets are flooded with noise, endless self-promoters broadcasting their every move, clout chasers begging for validation through hollow displays, keyboard warriors mistaking social media hype for real hustle. But true power operates differently. Real builders, real killers, real winners understand one fundamental law of the game. Visibility is not victory. The loudest in the room are rarely the most dangerous. The ones constantly telling you what they're about to do are usually the ones who never do it. True mastery demands solitude. Real progress happens in the shadows, in the unseen hours, in the relentless repetition of fundamentals while the world sleeps. The gym at 4:30 a.m. doesn't echo with boasts. It echoes with iron clanging and heavy breathing. The entrepreneur's breakthrough doesn't happen on Instagram Live. It happens in spreadsheets at midnight, in rejected pitches, in silent comebacks after brutal failures. The difference between a performer and a champion is simple. One needs an audience, the other only needs results. History's most formidable forces didn't announce their moves. The wolf doesn't howl before the hunt. The storm doesn't warn before it strikes. There's power in silence, in letting your work speak so loudly that your words become irrelevant. While posers are busy curating their image, warriors are too busy building their empire to care about perception. Every minute spent convincing others you're great is a minute stolen from actually becoming great. The marketplace doesn't reward declarations. It rewards delivery. The weight room doesn't respect your workout selfies, it respects your squat numbers. The business world doesn't care about your motivational posts, it cares about your profit margins. Real recognize real, and real knows that noise is the currency of the insecure. Substance needs no fanfare. When you truly grind in silence, your success makes all the noise you'll ever need. Success demands total commitment. Half measures create half-lived lives. The brutal mathematics of achievement are unforgiving. Partial effort yields partial results. There is no such thing as casual dominance. No accidental excellence, no championship won through convenient effort. The mountain doesn't care how badly you want to climb it. It only submits to those willing to bleed for the summit. Total commitment means war. It means your alarm clock becomes your drill sergeant. It means your comfort zone becomes your enemy. It means your excuses become unacceptable casualties in your march forward. While others are negotiating terms with their potential, you're signing an unconditional surrender to your purpose. The fully committed don't have backup plans. Backup plans are backup failures waiting to happen. Look at any arena where greatness is earned. The boxing ring, the trading floor, the startup battlefield. The common denominator is always complete psychological and physical investment. Champions don't balance their passion. They're consumed by it. They don't allocate hours to their craft. They rearrange their entire existence around it. The difference between good and legendary isn't talent. It's the willingness to pay a price others consider unreasonable. Total commitment creates its own gravity. It attracts opportunity, repels weakness, and transforms ordinary men into forces of nature. When you commit fully, the universe conspires to meet you at that level of intensity. Doors open not because of luck, but because your energy knocks them down. People respond not to your words, but to your undeniable presence forged through unwavering dedication. The world is designed to test your commitment daily. Distractions multiply. Doubt creeps in, shortcuts whisper. But iron wills don't bend. Either you're all in, or you're in the way. You're in the way. There are no participation trophies at the top. No partial credit for almost giving everything. The reward always matches the risk, and the victory always equals the sacrifice. Your level of commitment doesn't just predict your success, it defines your identity. Choose wisely. Choose wise. Your bank account reveals your discipline. Money doesn't lie. It doesn't care about your feelings, your excuses, or your elaborate justifications for why you don't have more of it. Your financial statement is the ultimate report card. An unforgiving ledger that exposes the truth about your habits, your decision-making, and most importantly, your discipline. Every digit reflects a choice. Every zero missing is a consequence of priorities misplaced. The world operates on a simple equation: value exchanged for value. If your output is weak, your income will mirror it. Look at the numbers. That's your life story written in the purest form. The man with 6 figures didn't stumble into it. He engineered it through relentless focus. The entrepreneur scaling to 7 didn't get there by accident. He sacrificed distractions most wouldn't dare to eliminate. The wealth gap isn't about luck, it's about the discipline gap. While the masses trade hours for dollars and jobs they hate, the financially free built systems that work while they sleep. The difference isn't opportunity, it's execution. Discipline is the currency of the wealthy. It's waking up when others snooze. It's investing when others splurge. It's studying markets while others scroll memes. Financial freedom isn't a lottery, it's a lifestyle. Every dollar saved is a soldier in your army. Every skill mastered is a weapon in your arsenal. The reason most stay broke isn't the system, it's their inability to delay gratification, to say no to impulses, to stay consistent when motivation fades. Your bank account doesn't reflect what you want, it reflects what you've earned. It's the scoreboard of your financial maturity. Broke isn't an income level, it's a mindset. And that mindset is perpetuated by undisciplined habits, skipping budgets, neglecting investments, chasing get-rich-quick fantasies instead of building real value. Wealth whispers. It doesn't flash labels to impress strangers. It grows quietly through compound decisions made daily. The formula is simple but brutal. Control your discipline, and you control your money. Lose control of one, and the other vanishes. Every financial failure can be traced back to a discipline failure. Every fortune can be traced back to relentless adherence to principles the weak dismiss as too hard. The market rewards those who respect its laws. Your bank account is proof of whether you do pain today or regret tomorrow. Choose one. Life is a brutal negotiator. It doesn't accept maybes or compromises. You either pay up front with effort or pay later with regret, but make no mistake, you will pay. The pain of discipline weighs ounces. The pain of regret weighs tons. Every dream deferred is a future burden. Every workout skipped is a future health crisis. Every dollar wasted is a future opportunity lost. Time doesn't forgive indecision. It amplifies its cost. The high performer understands this equation better than anyone. They willingly step into the fire today because they know the alternative is burning slowly in the embers of mediocrity later. While the weak seek comfort, the strong seek growth because they've calculated the long-term tax of laziness. The gym's discomfort is nothing compared to the hospital's despair. The business grind stress is nothing compared to the dead-end job's despair. Regret is the most expensive emotion. It compounds in silence. That skipped opportunity at 25 becomes the what if at 45. That neglected skill becomes the resume gap that cost the dream job. That avoided confrontation becomes the resentment that poisons relationships. The universe charges interest on procrastination, and the rates are merciless. Winners pay the price early. They embrace the suck because they've seen the alternative. The extra rep, the cold call, the saved dollar, these are investments, not sacrifices. The pain they endure today is the armor that protects them tomorrow. Meanwhile, the masses seek shortcuts that lead to dead ends. They trade temporary relief for permanent setbacks. They don't realize that life's suffering is non-negotiable. You either suffer on your terms pursuing greatness or suffer on life's terms drowning in what could have been. The choice is yours every single day. The sharp pain of progress or the dull ache of unrealized potential. One makes you stronger, the other leaves you weaker. Both are inevitable. Only one leads to victory. So let me ask you one last time. Are you gonna pay the price today? Or are you gonna beg for mercy tomorrow? The choice is yours. But remember, winners don't hesitate. Smash that subscribe button and let's go. This is Top G Track. Out.